Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room, where today we're going to take a look at Rebirth by Propellerhead. So Rebirth has been out a long time on the different platforms, I think 1997. So it's kind of a classic. Most people know about this, but I'm going to do like a song and automation and stuff, so it's like the epic guide to Rebirth. So first of all, this is a clean install, so I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, so this is what you get. You get certain demos here that you can play with, but for this I would suggest that you go down here, you see silent default song, and the first thing this is important to do is duplicate this, okay, so that you always keep your original silent default song. Otherwise, once you start overwriting that, you're going to save it as something else and you won't have a silent default song there anymore. And even if you say like create a new song here, it will just create the default track. So duplicate the silent default song, and then you can rename it later, but it doesn't matter. So here we go. We'll just load this up. So there'll be nothing here at all. So what I'm going to do is build 5 patterns. Okay, so we've got an intro, and then a verse, and then a fill, and then a chorus, and then a little break. And it can take us back into the beginning, but anyway, you'll see. So we got 2 303s, TB303s, a 909 and an 808, and these are registered from Roland, so this is going to be as close to the original pieces of hardware as you're going to get, really, and they program the same and everything. Okay, so it's a little involved playing with Rebirth, because it's just like the original was. So there's a couple of ways you can enter notes on the 303s here. You can use pitch mode or you can use step mode. So if we just hit play here, you will see that nothing happens at all, but there's a little C there. So these two here, this is a rest and a note. So the rest is silent, and then the note is on. So that's on. Step 1, it's like a 16-step sequencer is how it programs. So step 1, so step 5 would be like on the next beat. So if we went to step 5, 4, 5, and then turn that note on as well, see, we're going to get the beat going, sort of thing. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to silence that one anyway because I don't want that there. All I want for this first one is this one note, so for the intro sort of thing. Now let's see. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put some notes in. So I'm going to go back to step 3, put that C in there, and I'm going to step 5, put that C in there. See how this works? And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I want that silent and that and I'm going to go back to so this is going to be our intro. We're just going to make some adjustments to the sound there. So that's going to be our intro there, and we're going to just put some bass drum in here. And that's all I want for my intro. So that's going to be pattern 1 on everything there, although we haven't used this second one. And just for now, I'm going to change the waveform. So you get 2 waveforms, sawtooth and square wave, for your 303s. So I'm going to just take that up a little bit. Now over here we have our effects. We don't need to worry too much about that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of delay on this first one. Okay. So there's our first Here's our intro thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want that to be one pattern, and I'm going to copy exactly the same thing for pattern number 2. Okay, so first of all, what I want to do here is go to this pattern edit thing here, and for each of these patterns that I want to copy over to my next pattern, I just need to press copy. So copy there, select pattern number 2 and paste. I'm going to do it for all of them because I don't need to actually do it for, I'll do it for this one. So pattern number 1, copy and paste, and just select, because I didn't put anything in the 909 or the second 303, I can just select the patterns, you know what I mean? But this just keeps it, for the purposes of this tutorial, it just keeps it sensible, you know, it keeps it in line. We don't want patterns jumping everywhere just yet, otherwise it's going to get a little bit confusing later. So now we're on pattern 2, as you can see, and it should be exactly the same. Okay. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some alterations to pattern 2. First of all, I'm going to put some closed hi-hat in on the 909. So that's open hi-hat, isn't it? Closed. Okay, I'm going to fill it up. And then on the 808, I'm going to take away the second 2 bass drum hits there, and I'm also going to silence the second half of that. So for now that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is select pattern 3 on all of these, and I'm just going to set up like a basic kind of thing. So obviously if we start to play this now, nothing is going to be there. So I'm going to put in my bass drum beats again here. So on each thing. So we've got just a basic 4 on the floor here. And then I'm going to put off notes in on the 303 again. So if we go all the way back to step 1 here. Okay, I don't want anything on step 1, so I'm going to go to step 3 and I'm going to fire that one off. See? And then I'm going to go to step, let's see, we have there and then 2 and this. Anyway, sorry, I've got that wrong. I'm going to silence that. I'm going to say, well, I've completely messed this up. Hang on. That one we want silent. And that one we want silent. Step 7, we want to fire. And then, let's see, I want 8 silent thing, and then 11. And then that one silent, and then 15. So we've got that classic sort of thing going on here. Now, any adjustments I'm making here are going to be the same over these for the moment because we're in pattern mode here, pattern mode. So if I jump back to pattern 1 now, on this, okay, and also I'm going to start to play some other bits and pieces in. So I'm going to put a clap here. So select it by either hitting this or using the little controller. So, and so this is going to be pattern 3, which is our starting pattern. And I think also now I'm going to start to bring in the second 303 as well. So I've got, you can see that I've changed the waveform here to a square, and we're going to do some cool stuff with this. So we'll have it firing on 1, see how that sounds, and then we'll go to step 3 and set that up there. Right, and then take the cut off of it. And also on this one, I'm going to put a slide on, so it goes back. See? And I think I'm going to put an F in as well, but on a later step. So we're going to go to step 9, and I'll have that go up an octave and fire, and also slide. Modulation up a little bit as well, and also add a little bit of delay to that as well. Now I'm not going to be concerning myself too much now with me other effects, because you can get into that later. So now we have this as pattern 3. So that's cool. Now what do we want to do? So what we're going to do now is, we'll just stop that a sec, go to the pattern edit again, and I want to copy all of these over to pattern 4. So to do this, all I need to do is copy this one and paste, copy this one and paste that to 4, copy that one and also paste, and copy and paste. So all this is now in pattern 4. Okay, so what we're going to do is escape from the door like that, and we're just going to play. And now for pattern 4, we're going to start adding some more bits and pieces in. So I'm going to start putting put some snare in, I think, now over the clap. See. Snare level up a bit, and a snap increase, and the tone. And then I think also we'll have some high tom. Make sure I've hide it in this other mess. And I think I'm going to add a little few more notes extra now into the first 303. So I'm going to put a high C in, add it, and add glide and an accent. And then maybe as well also we can add some other bits and pieces. I mean, you can see this. You can spend ages and ages, and you can build up exactly what you want and things. But for obviously for the thing with time is we can't want to spend too much time doing this. So anyway, but you get the idea of how you build up your song. So you make your patterns first, all your patterns that you want. We need to make this second one a little bit more exciting, I think. So we'll have that an A. Switch it on, and we'll have that go right up as well. And we'll have that back to an F, and have that go down, slide and accent. Yeah. So now I want to set up another pattern. So the fifth and final pattern we're going to use, but obviously you can do 4 banks of 8 patterns, so you could go on for quite a long time. So this time I don't want anything going on to start with, so this should be just blank again, you see. And what I'm going to do now is set the bass drum here for every other hit, and I'm going to put the snare for 909 on. And I'm already on step 16 there, so I'm just going to put a load of C's. So that'll do. So now we've got our 5 patterns built. What we can start to do now is to build our song. Now, let me just go back to pattern 1 here and show you what happens. If you've got your sound set up, which is very nice, and you think, oh, that's great, now I want to go over and build my song, sort of thing. Okay, so here's the thing. You go into song mode now, and there we're in song mode now, and you will see that all has changed back, and we're back with that. And I think, oh God, why did I got to set all this up again? But you haven't. So once you do that, you drop into this, you hit song edit this time, and you initialize song from pattern mode. Okay, and what this will do is, and then you'll get this little warning here. This will overwrite your entire song, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's what we're going to do, initialize. It now has in song mode your original settings, and you're good to go. Okay, so this is a little confusing. It doesn't automatically just take over your pattern settings. You have to do that initialize song from pattern mode thing to get this going. Now, as soon as I hit song mode now, you will see that the bar here will just start counting, and that will count forever and ever. It'll just go on and just up to 999, I suppose. Okay, so it's okay. It's just playing pattern 1 over and over again. But what we want to do is have pattern 1. I want to have pattern 1 go on for 3 bars, and then pattern 1 go for 2 bars. So the way to do this, there's a couple of ways. But you can do it live, but the easiest way to do it is in step mode. It's just keep it static. Okay, so bear with me now. A few things that I may mess up, because it does get a little confusing sometimes. Rebirth, it doesn't matter. It's much fun when you get it right. So anyway, so I said we want the first 3 bars to be pattern 1. So there's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. And then I want bar 4 to be pattern 2. So I hit this little record here, and I'll set 2, 2, 2, and 2. Okay? So once the record is set, you're recording information into the sequencer, if you like. So if I was to step back now, so if I switch record off, you will see that these will change as I move up the bars. Okay, you watch. 1, 2, and then 4 will swap over to then. So I only want that for 1 bar, that second pattern. Then, because that's my intro, I want to go to pattern 3. So again, I move this to bar 5 now, which will jump back to this. And I'll hit record and go to 3, 3, 3, and 3. Now I want that to run for 3 bars also, so I've got it there, 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, and my 4th bar, no, actually we won't, we'll leave it like that. We'll leave that run for 4 bars, okay? So for bar 8, otherwise it gets confusing because I only did the 1 fill sort of thing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is now here we go. I'm going to go for, next part is bar 9, I'm going to have that run for 4. There, okay, and I'm going to have that go for 3 bars. So 9, 10, and 11. And the 12th bar here, 12, I'm going to have that play pattern 5, which is our sort of endy type pattern. And I'm just going to leave that set for 1 now. Okay. And then we can have it go back for, let's go back to our intro then. So for bar 13, we're going to go for 1, 1, 1, and 1. And we're just going to have that go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to kill it because we're going to go on forever. So we've done all these adjustments with our record on now. So we can switch our record off. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play the whole thing that we've just set up and see if it's all worked. And then I'm going to show you how you add automation with the effects and stuff, and how you can start to do your cutoff and things like that, which starts to make it sound really cool stuff. All right, so let's see. Hopefully now we've got this right. Now, another thing I want to point out now is I'm going to go where it says start and length here. This is how we're going to stop this from sort of just going into the twilight zone. So we just want it to loop over and over. So the length of our song is 16. 2. So we just put the amount of bars in we have here. So we start on 1, we end at 16, and then it'll loop back. So it will just then go back to the, after the intro's played, it will then start the intro again. So it should make sense theoretically. But let's just see if that all worked. So I think what we should have done there is in, let's see, if we go to bar 16, would make more sense. On bar 16, we're going to hit this record again, and we're going to make that pattern 2, okay, and then stop. So let's see what happens now. Let's go all the way back to bar 1. You can just do this with this, by the way. And let's play it now. Now this should make much more sense. So. And then back to the beginning. So that worked fine. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to add some animation to the sound, you know. Okay, so you get the idea. So far that you understand that you can, how to set this up and get it. It's a basic thing, you know. You can go on and make something really, really cool, but it's a time thing. It takes time, like anything. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to press record and play the song, and then any adjustments we make as the song progresses will be recorded into the thing, theoretically. Well, let's try that. So let's start with record, and let's just start this off at pattern 1, and we'll just add some random automation and stuff, hey? stop record. See, our automation has now been recorded. And it will also record any little changes you make to the effects and stuff like that. Alright guys, so there's the basic thing of how to set up your song. Okay, so it has pattern banks here. It works kind of the same way. You just select your patterns and stuff, but I suggest that you read the manual. It's not very long, but it's really good. Other modes and things, duo mode here. Duo, it means two people can play, so one person gets a 909 and a 303, the other person gets the 808 and 303. So that's cool fun. So we can swap out a duo mode there. Oh, you're not sort of locked as well. If you notice in duo mode, you can move stuff around, so you could have two drum kits, two 303s, blah blah. Background audio, self-explanatory. This has just been updated to the new Audio Bus SDK as well, so it works fine. This is iOS 8, so you can see it's all working great. Hey. Let's see what else as well. The PCF effect and delay effects, distortion effects, you can add as you go. If we go to let's just get back to pattern mode now, so things aren't changing, and let's choose the most fun the most active patterns, if you like, so we'll just play that. We can just mute those, and if we now select PCF, sorry, I'm mute, yeah, PCF, we can all these are you can automate all this as well. You can turn it off. The delay is self-explanatory, and there are your settings for your delay. Distortion. You can switch it on. That's what you get there, and you just select your effects there. You can pan backwards and forwards there, so that's all good fun. And of course, the same for this is where you start to get that kind of grungy, acidy feel. Okay, so there's that. Basically, that's it. So it's as complex or as simple as you like. You can, pretty much go mentalist and go crazy. Another cool thing as well with this version, similar to the PC version, although there are a lot more modifications available for the PC version. Let's just I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just play our pattern, and we'll get these back in. What you can do is you can see where it says mods. This is where it says mods here. This is the standard Rebirth mod, but then you can skip between 7 that they've included. So you could go use this mod and then just play. What's the volume a little bit on that? Now, I don't know if you know what happens with the mods is the 303s are the same. They're exactly the same. They never ever change whatever mod you've got. But Propellerhead have allowed the people doing the mods to change the samples in the 909 and the 808, so you get a stack of different drum sounds and things like that. So if we just play this, and I'll just jump through a few of the mods. You notice how different the sound is for the drums there. Pretty cool, eh? So that was all the mods there. Let's just quite like it. Quite like that one. Now I find some of these mods a little bit difficult because they're ported from the PC on a big computer screen. It's not so bad, and you've got your mouse clicky click click. I think they've. Well, oh, if you're watching this, Jacob, that pop was exactly what that was. Me hitting the microphone with the with the stylus. The thing is, it's a little bit difficult to see. You know, my eyesight's not the best, but I would find it difficult. I find the the original mod, the proper Rebirth look, I find that cool. No problem, no programming that. But these I find a little difficult, but they look nice, and also the sounds are different. So, like I said, you get the different sounds. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to song mode. And you'll see, because we've just used the mod within the song we're using, it's all set up exactly the same. So if I go back to bar, I'll just press stop there, go back to bar one. Let's listen to the song that we created with this mod now. And also, if you think about it, this could be a really good creative thing, because you could create something else, bang that into that mod, see how it sounds. So let's just play it. It's quite nice and gritty. And then it just goes back and starts again. So there you go, guys. I just found this interesting. Sometimes Rebirth used to come across as a little complex, a little too much involved, and there's always a lot going on the screen, and you have to program it. But like you can see, it's not that. You start simple, and then you could get more and more complex. It comes with, like I said, it comes with loads of. Oh yeah, this is the last thing. Now you've created. You just go back to my songs there when we save there, and then what we can do is rename that song. So video demo, because that's what it's for. Capital D. What does it for you? Done, and you've still got your default silent song for later. So that's a thing, it's nice to be able to go back to a default silent song. Again, you can preview each of the tracks, delete it, duplicate it, add a new song, or you can share it. Like I said, these are the other things, which are very, very, very good. I mean, they're really, really great. Much better than what I've just done. So that's cool, and of course you can load up these and play with those. But like I said, I'd always make a duplicate, just keep the stuff that's there. Really cool stuff, eh? And of course, the absolute classic, which has never changed, but which is really cool. Oh yeah, your automation will remember your on and offs and your, like I said, your pattern changes and everything. Pretty sure I've kind of covered everything there. You can randomize different things, just the accents, the pitches, or the pattern itself. You can shift it left or right. You can transpose it up or down. It's really involved, and there's a lot going on. So it gives you good options to do pretty much everything you like. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. And Happy New Year to you. This is the last video of 2014. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a good time. And me and Colin will see you later.